Hello everyone, I'm Strat Tom, and this is the Mod Spotlight, where I shine a spotlight on all my favourite mods. And today we're looking at a total conversion mod for Crusader Kings III, the Fallen Eagle. The Fallen Eagle mod is set in the same time frame as a game that some of you may be familiar with, Total War Attila. It documents the fall of the Western Roman Empire. I was honestly quite excited to play the Fallen Eagle, as this is a time frame which I find really fascinating. I thought the Crusader Kings model could prove an interesting take on this time period too, as the later Roman emperors did actually set the groundwork for things that we find typical in the medieval period. So I thought it might be cool to see how these things transferred over to Crusader Kings III. One thing I love about this mod is the world in which we are presented with. It is totally different than what we've ever been used to before in Crusader Kings. The Western and Eastern Roman empires respectively take up so much of the map, and so either playing as or against one of these two empires brings with it a whole new set of challenges that we haven't seen in the base game of Crusader Kings III. At this time, the Roman Empire, in the West particularly, was especially fragmented, and there was massive internal strife. This is an idea that lends itself beautifully to Crusader Kings III, as securing the loyalties of your different regions and governors is so important. But internal divisions are not your only worry, as on the borders, newly formed Germanic kingdoms are ready to pounce on the Western Empire's apparent weakness. If this time period is something in which you have an interest, then I would definitely say that the Fallen Eagle mod is something that you should give a go. However, if you are really interested in this time period, well then the Fallen Eagle is unfortunately filled with a lot of frustrations too. Now I'm going to put the caveat on that the Fallen Eagle is an unfinished mod. However, in its current state, I believe it needs some considerable work to make it authentic to the time period. There are a few things that I was hoping to see that the current mechanics of Crusader Kings III are just not going to allow. One of the big issues in this time period was barbarian migration. There is no way that we are going to be able to see entire barbarian kingdoms just up sticks and leave and start travelling westwards into Rome. One of the many reasons for that vast barbarian migration was the fact that you have the hordes of the Hunnic Empire moving westwards. But because of CK3's mechanics, the Hunnic Empire is itself a settled empire, which is just not a true reflection of how they operated. Because of this, I don't think we're ever going to see the Visigothic or Vandal Sacs of Rome. The Visigoths aren't going to up sticks and set up a new kingdom in Iberia. The Vandals aren't going to travel all the way to North Africa and set up a kingdom there in the old lands of Carthage. These are real things that happened in real life, and they're just not available to you in this mod. And unfortunately, Rome's enemies are not the only aspects of this mod which are not authentic to the time. The way the two Roman empires work too are sadly lacking. After the reign of Diocletian, the Roman Empire was split up into regions known as dioceses, which is a word that we still use today in the church. The governors of these different dioceses would be appointed by the emperor. But if a governor died, retired, or was removed, then it would be the prerogative of the emperor to choose a new governor. But as this is Crusader Kings, the leaders of these different regions all have hereditary titles, meaning that once they die, it's passed on to their sons. I even noticed that within my borders, different governors were fighting one another for control of different territory. Now, in the early medieval period, this sort of thing might well have happened, as the overall crown authority was low. But the Roman Empire, absolutely not. The borders and governors of these different dioceses, well, they were the choice of the emperor. Now, this is not to say that these governors of different regions did not coalesce and then rebel against the sitting emperor. They absolutely did. But this is why choosing loyal governors was a really important thing for an emperor to do. In my playthrough, I did see some territories break away from the Western Roman Empire, but they seemed to just do it piecemeal, one small county at a time. And again, this just seems odd that there wasn't region-wide revolts led by powerful governors. I feel like this is the first mod spotlight video I've done where I've come away feeling disappointed with a mod. That is not to say that the Fallen Eagle is bad and you shouldn't give it your time. It is actually very good, and it is very impressive what they have done so far. However, I believe if they are going to make it authentic to this time period, then there are still plenty of things that need to be changed. Anyway, that about wraps it up for today. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I've been Strat Tom, and I'll see you next time.